How are you doing, folks? This is Dr. Chris Cueto, aka TheStickDoc, coming with another video. And today we're going to talk about an important functional move called a hip hinge. An important move that we do every day, that we should be using every day when we pick up items off the floor, for example, or getting into certain exercise routine. But before I continue, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel. So, a hip hinge is an important move for our day-to-day use, whether we need to bend down and pick something up, or getting into certain workout routines such as a barbell deadlift, a Bulgarian deadlift, or a kettlebell swing or Hydrocore swing. So what is a hinge? Well, the hinge is really bending down from the hips. The hips is our fulcrum. The problem I see for a lot of folks, whether they're picking things up and they're hurting themselves, is they're bending down like this, too much, creating that alordotic curve of our lumbar spine, which is also normal. We also need flexion in our lumbar spine, don't get me wrong. But when we repeatedly do a lot of flexion and twisting, that's when we get ourselves into trouble. If you're gonna go ahead and do a lot of heavy lifts, like a deadlift, and I see this a few times in the gym, I don't comment just because it's not my business, but I see a walking disaster coming through. When they're picking something up, I'm gonna grab a barbell here for example, and I'm seeing them doing a deadlift, and they're rounding their back out too much, okay? That's when they can get into issues. Now, there's also a little bit of a counter argument too. Some folks say that a slight curve of your lumbar spine is fine, and actually that is true. If you can lock out, you can do a slight curve of your lumbar spine. If you can lock it in place and create stability, and from there you could go ahead and hinge. The problem with that is though, if you don't know what you're doing, you're still brand new to that, you could get yourself into a lot of trouble again. Me, I like to go where it's safer, it's biomechanically sound, and it's also applicable to a lot of different types of movements. Okay, so with the hinge, we're going to go ahead, think about creating that crease or chop into the hips here. Okay, I'm going to go by side view here for example. From here, I'd like to go ahead with that activation of a core or core stabilization, something I've talked about in my previous videos. And again, what that is, think about your abdomen as two doors. You want to close it in, not too tight that you can't have a conversation and you can breathe. Activate your lower back by pressing, think about pressing the lower back outward towards your fingers. A little tougher there, but make sure you kind of start mastering that movement. And then of course your glutes. Think about you squeeze your glutes in together, okay? Important concept. So from here, think about also sticking your chest out, sticking your butt out, okay? Some people laugh when I say that, but the reason why is I want to make sure we maintain that curve. We're not overextending the lumbar curve. That's the problem. We want to make sure that as we're hinging, bending through the hips, we are not losing that curve. So with our hands either across our chest or at our hips, stick your chest out, stick your butt out, we're going to go ahead and bend forward, okay? I like to try to keep looking forward here too as kind of a guide, like we're bowing to somebody. I'm going to look at you forward here. All right, so we're hinging forward, okay? This is why we need this for that movement, all right? We're activating our core, getting that glutes to drive, push in, and drive the hips forward, okay? When we start doing things like the kettlebell lifts, Hydrocore swings, that's what we need, okay? For those who practice martial arts, especially Korean and Japanese arts, of course, like the bow is kind of the same concept, okay? You want to try to make sure you're maintaining that hinge. If you want to take it a little bit of a step further, you can also, by the time you hit the end range of your hinge, you can also bend your knees. This could also set you up for, again, Hydrocore, kettlebell swings, deadlifts, Bulgarian deadlifts, okay? So that's a very, very useful tool that you can start doing on your own, without weights, without items. Just practice, practice, practice to get your core activated, and to do things biomechanically sound so you don't hurt yourself, okay? So if any questions, don't forget to go to our website at www.heraldsquarechiropractic.com and stay tuned for more good videos.